Hey, this is Nate from Web 801. In today's video, we're going to talk about blogging. What is blogging? Why should you consider it on your website? And how does blogging help your business? At the end of the video, I'm going to do a step-by-step walkthrough of how to set up a blog post on your website. Let's get started. At Web 801, we turn boring brochure websites into profitable employees. One way we do that is through helping business owners define and solve problems on their website. And that's where blogging comes in. A blog is a part of your website where the owner can create content and share it with targeted visitors. Blogging content generally shows up in reverse chronological order, meaning that most recent posts show up at the top. Blog content can be produced in a variety of ways: video, audio or podcast, written content, slide deck presentations, images, and ideally a combination of all of these. From our experience, one of the easiest ways to get started blogging is shooting simple videos on your phone and sharing your knowledge and experience with the world. Solve people's problems. That's the main objective of blogging. As a business owner, why should you consider blogging as part of your digital marketing strategy? First and foremost, blogging is something you have complete control of. Unlike social media, where things often change, blogging is consistent. You determine when to create content, you decide what the content's about, you can edit or update, or you can completely scrap the content if you don't like it. You also decide when the content is published. With a blog, you can share the content on a lot of different platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. And you can determine how often you share the content. Blogging also helps solve specific problems that you can provide for your clients. It's also great for SEO, or search engine optimization. For me, the main purpose of SEO is to be found in search engines accidentally. Unless people know your business and have the web URL already, they're not going to find you. But if they're searching for a specific problem, and you've written a blog post about that problem with a solution, ta-da, you can be found accidentally in a search. I remember vividly how one of my mentors helped me change my business. I was searching for a specific solution. I typed it in Google and clicked on the first article I found. It took me to a site I'd never been to before. The content was well laid out, easy to skim through, it had images, and solved one of the main problems I was dealing with. It was like the writer was reading my mind. At the end of the blog post, it invited me to do something. But to get the download, I had to provide my name and email. This is called list building. From that first introduction, I then received emails about other problems I had. I ended up spending thousands of dollars with this mentor, all because of one simple blog post that gave me a solution to a problem. Yes, blogging can be overwhelming at first, but you have to start somewhere. Get out a pen and paper and write down problems that you address all the time. Think about the answers to those problems and then map it out. Make a list of questions. Create a step-by-step guide and then get started. Solve people's problems. Here are a few tips I'd like to remind you of when it comes to blogging. Tip number 1, make the article at least 1,500 to 1,800 words. This has changed a lot over the years. It used to be 250 to 500 words was enough. It would show Google that your site was active and updated. But now, comprehensive articles are what gets traction. Brian Dean from Backlinko says comprehensive content significantly outperforms content that is short and sweet. Longer, more comprehensive content works. Tip number 2, use questions in your blog post that Google suggests. If you go to Google and type in one of the frequently asked questions you deal with, what do you find? Often you'll see people also ask. This will give you a list of ideas you can include in your blog content. Add these questions in sections and answer those questions. Tip number 3, pick a good title. A title should include keyword phrases about problems you're going to solve. The blog post I found that answered my specific question was about a website design agreement. It had that keyword phrase right in the title. Tip number 4, internally link to other pages on your website. Internal links mean you take a keyword phrase and link to another page. This can encourage curiosity on your site, and it helps search engines rank all of your pages. That means they start showing up in search. Tip number 5, make the blog post scannable. Scannable means I don't have to read every word to get the general idea. Breaking the content into sections with a heading and then bullets or numbered lists makes it scannable. Using images helps tell the story. Use short sentences, 1 to maybe 2 sentences in a paragraph. It's also been proven that video is a lot more effective than writing a lot of content. Visitors like to watch content instead of just read it. So use both interchangeably. Now we're going to do a step-by-step walkthrough of how to add a blog post to your website. Okay, so here we are at one of my websites, rent801.com. I will then come to the top and I'll type in /WP-admin and I'll log in to my dashboard. I'll then come over here to posts. I'll click all posts and I'll see that I've had some blog posts already. I'll then click add new and then I'll see this editor. One thing I like to do is first click on the toolbar toggle. That will give me more editing options, kind of like a word editor. Now, as I talked about before, tip number 1 is 1,500 to 1,800 words. We won't worry about that right now, but I'm just going to paste in content that I've already created. Tip number 2 is use questions in sections of the post. So here, post directly in the blog or use different editing features. These are sections. These aren't the questions, but these are editing sections. So the way I did this was I made a section and then I highlighted over the text. Then I went up here to the top and I made this, I clicked on this and picked heading 2. That will break things into sections that make it more scannable. So there's a section, there's a section, there's another one. If I click on that one, that's actually a heading 3, which is a little bit smaller. And there's a section, how to add a video to a blog post, so that there's a question, and that breaks down the step-by-steps. Tip number 3 is to pick a good title. Here's where I put the title up here. So I'm going to say 5 easy steps to add a blog post to your website. We'll go over titles in another video and the effectiveness of different titles and how you format those titles. But putting a number in a title and an adjective, like 5 easy steps to add a blog post to your, we'll say, new website. And then I would go over here and I would click Save Draft. Then you'll see that this title becomes part of the URL. It has the title right in the URL itself. Tip number 4 is internally linking to other pages on your site. So as I scroll down this content, maybe I want to link to some other page on my site. I'm going to say making your blog post scannable. Let's say I have a video or another blog post or potentially a service that I offer that I could link right here. So I'm going to highlight over that phrase. Then I'm going to go up here to the insert edit link. And I'm going to click on that button. It then pops up like this. And I'm going to type in Steph Curry, because I know there's a blog post about Steph Curry never missing. And so I typed in that keyword phrase, it shows the blog post. When I click on that, it pulls up the address within my website and then links to that post. And then I can click apply. Now, making internal links is one thing, but making links to other sites is another thing I want to talk about quickly. Let's say that the phrase, featured image. I'm going to highlight over featured image. I'm going to push this insert edit link, and then I'm going to make this one a link to a tool that I talk about all the time, which is unsplash.com. Now, unsplash.com is a royalty-free image directory, but it's a third-party website. It's not internally linking on my site. So one thing I want to do here is click on this link options. It'll then pop up like this, and it'll say open link in new tab. So I'm going to click on that checkbox and then click update. That way, if I'm linking to another source, a third-party source, I want it to be open in a new window so they don't leave my site completely. They just click on that link and it'll open in a new tab or window. So that's internal linking. Tip number 5 is to make your blog post scannable. As you can see here, I have headings, I have short sentences, I have a numbered list, another heading, a couple sentences in a paragraph, a bulleted list, a quote, images, very scannable content. They can just go right through it. How to add video to your blog post is very step-by-step. Step 1, step 2, step 3. So that's scannable. I also have screenshots where I capture other important factors like using questions people ask or getting suggestions from Google on what people are talking about. There's another internal link. Now, once I get all this stuff done and I feel like this blog post is definitely a start, I can see down here in the left corner that's only 350 words, so I have some work to do on this blog post, but this gives me a good start and gets the ball rolling. Let's say I want to just save this. I can click Save Draft, and then it's not published, it's not live, it's just saved in my drafts. If I go over to All Posts, I will then see at the top the blog post as a draft. I'm going to click Edit again though, and I'm going to push myself to get this one done. So over here on the right, I can go to Publish Immediately. I can click Edit, and then I can say, okay, I'm going to publish this one. Maybe I have an editorial calendar where I'm going to publish once a week, and it's going to be every Wednesday. And so I'm going to click on this and say, okay, I'll keep it in September, and we'll do 2 days from now. And then I'll click OK. And now that is scheduled. So I can click Schedule, and that blog post will now be set to go live on the 21st of September. A couple other things I forgot to mention here when I'm making a blog post is I always want to set a featured image. So I go down here to the bottom, I'll click Set Featured Image, and then I'm just going to pick a random picture for now, but I would probably want to find a picture that related to what I was talking about. So I'll just click this one for now and click Set Featured Image, and then that will show up like this. And then I'll click Update. Now I can click on View Post, and it's going to show me kind of a breakdown or layout of what this blog post looks like. There's the video that I've added right from YouTube, and there's the pictures and everything. And you'll notice it has a place for comments and all the details we've talked about. So one strategy I would recommend is setting aside maybe one time per month or maybe one time a week where you dedicate to writing blog posts. You get ideas from other places. Maybe you go to Google and you type in how to invest in real estate in my area. And I hit enter, and then I'll see some ads, and then I'll see, oh, there's Investopedia. That's a blog post. And there's People Also Ask, and there's another blog post, How to Invest in Real Estate, 5 Ways to Get Started. I can click on this one, and I can tell this is a blog post. It was published recently, and I can get ideas on, oh, there's a summary, and there's a title, and a breakdown. There's a video. There's a screenshot, it looks like. The content, although it's quite long, it's fairly scannable. I scroll down, it's definitely long content, and then it has other information that people can get and a way for people to sign up to get more details in their inbox. So I can get ideas here. Maybe I can take bits and pieces of this, or I can even reference this as a way to get started. Thanks for watching the video today. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Also, in the description below, we've done a blog challenge. Click on the link, submit your information, and qualify for a free 15-minute blog walkthrough.